East Knox ended the regular season with a 35-21 win over Danville. It was the Bulldogs' third win in a row, and in getting that, they secured the Devil Dog Trophy for the fourth straight season. But that is all in the rearview mirror now, as it's time for the postseason. East Knox hosting Reedsville Eastern, coming up next.
Mazza's Restaurant first opened its doors in 1939. Today, a new generation of the Mazza family keeps that tradition alive by offering a full lunch and dinner menu highlighted by house classics like lasagna, chicken parmesan, and the famous Mazza salad. Their new facility, located in Mount Vernon, also offers catering and banquet services. As former alumni of East Knox, Mazza's would like to wish the Bulldogs good luck in the playoffs. Visit Mazzas.com for weekly specials and info and make Mazza's your new dining destination.
Knox Community Hospital delivers with 3 fellowship-trained surgeons and coveted national rankings for 4 years running, all to help you beat the pain and heal faster. At Knox Community Hospital, we're elevating care.
Hi, this is Brock Ross from the Danville office of the Kilbuck Savings Bank, and I want to wish the Danville Blue Devils all the best for a great season.
And this is Dee Scott from the Apple Valley office of the Kilbuck Savings Bank, and I'm here to wish the East Knox Bulldogs an awesome season.
We may root for different teams, but we are together in our efforts to service the financial needs of our neighbors and friends in the Knox County area.
Supporting our community is even more important today. So contact me, Dee Scott, at the Apple Valley office.
Or me, Brock Ross, at Danville.
The Kilbuck Savings Bank, your community partner, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
People's Bank a 5-star superior rating for strength and stability with Bauer Financial Services for over 25 years. The People's Bank, serving you since 1920.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to week number 11 of the 2021 high school football season from East Knox High School. It is the East Knox Bulldogs taking on the Eagles of Reedsville Eastern. I am Brian Harder along with Brian Skoronsky. It's the Division 7 Region 27 first-round matchup, and it's just as this game is getting ready to start, the rain starts to fall.
Yeah, and we think that this might favor East Knox, but who knows? These are both two teams that have quality running attacks, Bri, but here in Howard, the Bulldogs, you know what I mean? They just always come to perform, and I think maybe a little bit fitting that the rain's about to come down here. It's kind of setting the mood and letting you know playoffs are here, Brian, and the weather, you never know what you're going to get in Ohio.
Halloween weekend here in Howard. The winner of tonight's game will take on the Gloucester Trimble Lancaster Fisher Catholic winner. That game is also being played tonight, and it's an opportunity to see one of the better offenses in the KMAC in East Knox. They finished the season 8-2. They shared the conference crown with Highland, and as we have seen them all season long, Peyton Lester able to really do a lot of things through the air. Hopefully tonight, though, that's not neutralized because of the rain.
Almost 2,000 yards passing. The stat that I like most, though, is he almost never gives it away in his senior season. Peyton Lester has been solid, man. He's been a guy that they can rely on. He makes plays when he needs to with his legs. Super versatile athlete, but what I like most about him, Brian, other than not just having the turnovers, is that he is a solid leader for the Dogs. He is one of those guys that makes sure that everybody's on top of it in between the football games at practice. I love that about Lester.
He's 78 yards away from 2,000 passing yards on the season, and as you mentioned, that senior leadership is invaluable for this team. Now, if this turns into a running game, they also have a very talented sophomore in Cole Delaughder, who is 75 yards away from having a 1,000-yard season.
And he's another versatile threat. He can also do it out of the backfield in the receiving game. He's got it into the end zone 4 times on catches, 16 times on the ground. And this is another one of those young, humble kids. But he's big too, Brian, for just a sophomore. 6'2", I bet he's probably about 185 pounds. And he always seems to be moving forward. Even on contact, he gets extra yards. I love what we've seen, the development of Delaughder, who got thrown into the fire last year as a freshman and played well towards the end of the season. Now as a full-time starter as a sophomore, he's arguably, one of the top 3 guys in the KMAC.
Now, what I like about this East Knox team is they are incredibly balanced. You cannot just focus on stopping a guy like Cole Delaughder, because Peyton Lester can sit back there and pick you apart, and he doesn't just focus on one guy. He's got 2 or 3 receivers that he can go to on any given play.
And I think that Shane Knepp is the one that has the best connection with them. They're both seniors. They've been playing pitch and catch since they were in the backyard when they were young guys, grew up together. So that combination certainly is fantastic. And then Steinmetz as well. I like how they're starting to use him a little bit more in the running attack. They keep defenses honest by bringing him on the jet sweep looks. Sometimes he gets it. Sometimes he just leaks out of the backfield, and they'll hit him on short passes that sometimes turn into big games. He's another shifty player that you definitely have to keep an eye on. The Bulldogs got a ton of them.
Peyton Lester with 187 passing yards last week in the win over Danville. He threw for a touchdown. Cole Delaughder, though, with 111 yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns. We're going to pause now for the playing and singing of our national anthem. Brian Harder along with Brian Skoronsky. Welcome back to the Mazda's Restaurant pregame show, and we've been talking about East Knox. Now, they are the number 4 seed in Division 7, Region 27. They're taking on number 13, Reedsville Eastern. They are 4-4 out of the Tri-Valley Conference. Now, you might ask, where is Reedsville? It's a long drive from here, down by the Ohio River, southeast of Athens. It is a very small town, and they got into the playoffs thanks to the running of Bryce Newland last Friday. 386 yards on only 25 carries, and he scored 5 touchdowns. So they're another team that likes to run the football, and that could favor whoever is able to take care of the football on this wet night.
You mentioned those numbers. Go ahead and look at them on paper, Brian, with the graphic. It kind of jumps off the page to you. 386 yards in one game. Most impressively, only 25 carries. That's all he needed. He got into the end zone 5 different times, and that was a play-in game too. If they did not win, they were not going to make it into the postseason, so it was a big-time performance by this running back, Bryce Newland. I certainly look forward to seeing him and what he's capable of here tonight as the Bulldogs making their way. And what a grand entrance it always is here at Chet Looney. I get goosebumps every single time I come down here. One of the best small school environments you're going to find, maybe not just in the Buckeye State, but anywhere, man. This is awesome.
East Knox won 4 of their first 5 games of this season. The only loss to undefeated Crestview. Their game against Cardington in Week 6 was canceled due to COVID, and instead they played Conottonville Valley and won 42-16. Since then, they have beaten Mount Gilead, lost to Northmore, and rattled off wins over Fredericktown, Highland, and Danville. So they're riding a 3-game winning streak into the postseason. But what they have been able to do here under Cody Reese, they're not thinking about accolades during the regular season. They're going to try to make another playoff run like they did a few years ago.
That's always the goal down here in East Knox. Since Cody Reese has taken over this program, he's an East Knox guy, born and bred. He loves his Bulldogs, and he's been doing a fantastic job of getting them to a position, Brian, where they're expecting it now. That's when you know that the program has taken the next step, when you can just keep recycling new guys year after year and you keep having winning seasons, because that's the culture. I think that's what Coach Reese has brought to the table now. It's been awesome to watch him blossom, and especially the last couple of years. After making that 13-0 run all the way to the state Final Four, what were they going to do after graduating one of the best senior classes? I think you could argue maybe the best that they've ever had in the history of the program. All they've done, made the playoffs 2 years in a row, and looking to get back-to-back home games here for the first time in program history if they can win here tonight.
He has been the head coach since 2017, and they have never lost more than 3 games in a season since he has been running this program. And as you mentioned, that has become the expectation now here at East Knox. They won the opening coin toss, and they deferred, so they will kick off to the Eagles, and we are underway here in Week 11 of the 2021 high school football season.
And how about that right away? The Eagles with a big hole and a return out right to midfield, so some positive momentum right out of the gates. We'll see if the Eagles can do anything with it.
Braden Smith with the return up to midfield, the offensive starters for the Eagles, and they are a very run-dominant team, although you see a lot of wide receivers in this lineup. Bryce Newland, as we mentioned, 386 yards last week versus Southern. Brady Yonker, when they go to throw, he is the guy that pulls the trigger. 1st and 10 at midfield. Yonker comes up under center, and they're going to go to the ground. The first carry of the ball game for Newland. He gets down to the 46-yard line. The defensive starters for East Knox, and this is a very solid unit led by Nate Burwell. Carson Steinmetz, one of the outstanding linebackers, along with Cole Delaughder. You're going to hear Delaughter's name a lot on both sides of the ball. And the secondary anchored by Lester and Shane Knepp.
All 3 levels of this team are solid, Brian, and they've improved from week 1. Now, 10 weeks later, expect to see a pretty dominant defensive unit out here for the Dogs.
Gain of 3 by Newland. 2nd down. They go back to the ground, and Newland again stuffed at the 45, so not much of a gain. The rain has started to slow down, And we saw this last night. We were up at Arlen Field, and it rained a little bit in the first quarter, and then it stopped, which up there would not have been a big deal because of the turf. Down here, you've got the grass.
It can be a big difference maker for the playing surface out here in Howard. So the rain still coming down fairly heavy, not as much as it was right at kickoff, but still going to have a big impact, certainly in this first quarter.
3rd down and 5 from the East Knox 45-yard line. The Reidsville Eastern snap. The ball is on the ground, and let's see who has it. Looks like Eastern recovered, but it's going to be 4th down. And they're kind of in no man's land here. I'd be interested to see if they're going to punt and try to pin East Knox deep, or if they're going to go for it on 4th and 5. They're going to give him a 2-yard loss. It's going to be 4th and 7. And it looks like they're going to drop back in punt formation. Shane Knepp will backpedal for the Bulldogs inside the 20. So the defense for the Bulldogs holds on their first drive.
Ooh, Dogs almost got to that one too.
Knepp drops it at the 12, is able to pick it up. And he gets up to the 20-yard line. So that is where the Bulldogs will start their first drive. The offensive starters for the Bulldogs, a very talented unit led by Peyton Lester, the leading passer in the KMAC. Cole Delaughder, the outstanding sophomore, is the running back up front. Niebarger and Kimball with a solid offensive line, and Moreland, Knepp, and Steinmetz outstanding targets for Peyton Lester.
It's a super balanced attack, Brian. The offensive front you got to give a ton of credit to, but I love the quartet of wide receivers they have. A lot of different flavor out there with each guy having their own unique style.
And Lester spreads the ball around. They're going to stay on the ground. They first carry the ball game to Jensen, and he's got running room up across the 45 to midfield. Still on his feet down the far sideline. He's finally tripped up at the 25-yard line. So a large run on first down for the Bulldogs, and they are in Eagle territory.
What a start. You can't ask for anything better if you're East Knox. Huge run to the outside, set up by some phenomenal blocking by the wide receivers, plus the Bulldogs line setting the edge and running some tempo here, Brian, quickly getting up to the line of scrimmage to make sure the Eagles can't catch their breath, trying to punch them right in the gut here from the jump.
I misspoke. It was Carson Steinmetz on the carry. Now they'll stay on the ground. That's Delaughder up to the 20-yard line. Brought down defensively by Braden Oldacre. 9 minutes to go in the opening quarter, and East Knox with their first drive of the ball game, and they're down to the Eagle 20 with a 2nd and 7. Two receivers to the near side. Lester out of the shotgun. That's Delaughder, and they'll swing it out. Delaughder with the catch, and Delaughder down to about the 13-yard line.
And that's what he does, too. Such a versatile threat out of the backfield. You see they just motion him out. Key blocks on the outside. Knepp and Steinmetz combine for the double team, and he's able to do the rest, pick up a few yards, make it 3rd and manageable.
3rd down and 4 from the 16-yard line. Now they go with a power backfield. Lester turns, pitches to Knepp. Knepp then tries to return field and gets a nice block by Peyton Lester, and into the end zone for a touchdown goes Shane Knepp, and this was all sprung by a block that Peyton Lester delivered, and East Knox goes on top 6-0.
Usually got to go to Lucas to see the quarterback getting out and making the block that leads for a touchdown, Brian. But here in Howard, how about this? Number 3 making the touchdown, opening up block to allow Knepp to do the rest into the end zone.
Rain picking up again. And the extra point is no good, so East Knox will have to settle for a 6-0 lead, 7:56 to go in the opening quarter. Now, we expected the running of Delaughder, but that was a nice play call. with Shane Knepp coming around the edge and getting the big block from the Bulldogs quarterback.
Well, we talked about the wide receivers and how versatile these guys are. You saw Steinmetz with the big run to open things up on the drive. Now they bring it back the other way. Well, Shane Knepp chose to because the blocking wasn't really working on the left side. He comes all the way back to the right. You know, that's just called speed, athleticism, and knowing your personnel, man, knowing that things are going to open up to the outside. Gets his buddy to set him a block from the quarterback position. It's a thing of beauty for the Dogs to open things up with a touchdown on their opening drive.
And you talked about the leadership of Peyton Lester, him making blocks like that and putting himself in harm's way. That will earn respect in the locker room.
I'm sure he's already got that from the last couple of seasons, getting the Dogs into the postseason yet again here and got him off to a nice start.
So Bulldogs score first. And a short return by one of the up men, and the Eagles will start their second drive from the 43-yard line. Eastern 4-4 out of the Tri-Valley Conference. They do have one state championship in their school history. It was in girls basketball back in 2014. Pat Newland is their head coach, his 13th year at the helm of this program. Backs are in the eye. They'll stay on the ground. That's Newland trying to bounce to the outside. He gets about 4 to the 47-yard line. Dominic Kimball in on the stop. A pickup of 4. Will make it second down and 6.
Solid pursuit on that play by the defensive line of the Bulldogs. Opened things up for Delaughder, who actually had to shed a block to come over and make the tackle. And, oh, by the way, the sophomore, pretty darn good on the defensive side too, Brian.
Cole Delaughder has a bright future here in East Knox. That is for sure. Second down and 6. Newland again, right side, and he's wrapped up again on cue by Delaughder, but he gets across midfield down to about the 47. And about 2 yards shy of a first down, it's 3rd and 2.
And that's a heck of a tackle you see right there by Delaughder, who was matched up in a block, had to dive off of it, grab him down low. If not, that's a pretty big hole for Newland to get through. Probably should have gotten more out of it, if not for the heroic tackle there of Cole.
No secret what the Eagles like to do. They run the football. They only put up 7 pass attempts last week in their win over Southern. They pitch it this time, and he stopped short of the first down marker. And decision time for the Eagles here as they face a 4th and 1 at the 47-yard line.
See just excellent pursuit by the linebacking core of the Dogs, making it tough. They had to make a decision there in the run game. Do I cut it back inside? Do I try to break it out? And just nothing available, really, either decision that you make. So now it becomes a real decision, 4th down and 1, and I think here you got to keep the offense on the field, and they will.
Well, and you know what they're going to do. They're going to try to run the football. They give it to Newland, right side, has the first down, and he just follows the right tackle to the 45-yard line. A lot of confidence in Bryce Newland, a 5'11", 160-pound senior, and he moves the chains.
There he is fighting just to make sure that he gets the first down and does. So for them, you know, maybe this gives a little bit of momentum. First down of the evening. You pick it up on a 4th down. Can you compound it, keep it snowballing, and get closer to the end zone?
Newland again, and he's wrapped up by Delaughder at the 42. And there's no secret to what they're going to do. A lot of confidence in that offensive line. They tend to favor that right side. When I first saw what Newland did last week against Southern, I thought it was a misprint. 386 yards on only 25 carries.
Yeah, I saw it printed in too many newspapers and columns for it to be wrong.
Now Yonkers going to drop back and looks to throw, lofts it over the middle, and it's incomplete. Threw it over double coverage. He was looking for Jaden Evans.
And I don't mind this. Take a shot. He did throw to a guy that was double covered, so the Bulldogs did their job. Caden Sloan broke through, put the pressure, made it tough, but his guy had a step. It would have had to be a drop right inside of the bucket, a perfect dime, just a fraction off there, and it's going to bring up a big 3rd down 7 here for the Eagles.
The Bulldogs defense was able to hold on the first drive of the Eagles. Let's see what they do here on 3rd and 7. Newland, the pitch on the right side. He's going to be wrapped up, and he's not going to get it. Blake Bonham was there and kept him from going around the edge. It's another 4th down, this time 4th and 7.
And they keep it in the hands of their playmaker, Bryce Newland. This already, I believe, his 8th carry of the game. Bonham doesn't allow him to catch the edge, so now no gain, 4th down and 7. It's a big play here for your offense of the Eagles, who looked like, do they want a timeout? Oh, no, I thought they was going to blow it dead here for a second. You almost have to put it up through the air. East Knox is just too fast in the linebacker position to try to run this.
Yonker is going to roll to his left. He feels the pressure. He fires, and it's picked off. Shane Knepp down the near sideline with the turnover, and he's going to go into the end zone for a touchdown.
Shane Knepp with his 2nd TD in 2 different ways. He's a wide receiver. He does it in the run game. Now he does it with the interception to the barn, actually, you should say, out here in Howard. 12-0 already for the Dogs.
4:05 to go in the first quarter. Let's see if East Knox will go for 2 to try to make it a 14-0 ball game.
Here's another look. He read that perfectly. It's underthrown, but Shane Knepp breaks underneath the wide receiver, and he's got the speed to take it all the way into the end zone. 2 touchdowns for the senior here tonight.
His 3rd pick of the season for Shane Knepp. Extra point is up, and it is good. So East Knox with a 13-0 lead, 4:05 to go in the first quarter. The offense does it on the first drive, and the defense now comes up big on the second.
Let's take one more look on the Amato's wood-fired pizza replay. You see Yonker, he's got pressure coming down on him, got to throw across his body. If he leads his man, a lot of greenery out there, Brian. Might even be a touchdown. Knepp sees that it's underthrown, just undercuts him, and he's got the ability every time to take it back into the end zone. So the fans that made the drive from Eastern, you see over there sitting in the rain now, not a lot of smiles.
Not a lot of smiles on Halloween night here for the Eagles fans on the far side of the field. But a lot of happy fans on the near side, a lot of smiles as they're looking up into the press box. And they're enjoying a 13-0 lead with 4:05 to go in the opening quarters. We said the winner of tonight's game will take on either number 5 Gloucester Trimble or number 12 Lancaster Fisher Catholic. That game will be next Saturday night.
And we'll be right back here in Howard. You already know OH Report going to be in the building if the Dogs are hosting that game. Be following them throughout their postseason journey, and I'm hoping it's another nice long one.
Short kickoff. And Smith gets up across the 30, still on his feet, breaking tackles, finally stood up at the 35-yard line. So Brady Yonker 0 for 2 early with an interception that was returned for a touchdown. He was only 2 of 7 last week in their win over Southern. They didn't need him to throw the football then because they ran it so well. But if they fall behind early here, he's going to have to put the ball in the air.
Trailing 13-0 obviously doesn't favor anybody ever, but especially when your style of play is just to feed your workhorse senior running back, could spell trouble for the Eagles early already as we're approaching the end of the first quarter here.
Blake Bonham with another tackle as Newland tried to run to the near side. He picked up 3. There he tries a little counter to the near side. And it'll be 2nd down and 7.
And you see these East Knox linebackers staying disciplined, but at the same time, they're making their break pretty early to come up and help in the run game.
You notice how far up close to the box everybody is playing to. They know what Eastern wants to do. This time a little carry by Jaden Evans. He gets a couple. In on the stop for East Knox, Cole Delaughder. Kimball also helping as the ball is now resting at the 40. It'll be 3rd and 5.
First carry for Evans. Goes for a couple of 40-yard line. And now 3rd down and 5 for the Eagles. I think maybe at this point, Brian, understanding what East Knox can do in terms of their explosiveness, everywhere is 4-down territory. So I'd probably keep it on the ground and try to make this, if not a 1st down, a 4th and manageable.
Yonker again rolling to his left, feels the pressure. It's incomplete. And he had all kinds of heat. Dominic Kimball was tracking him down, and he forces a 4th down.
Take a look on the Mottos replay here. How about the pursuit of the Dogs? Like a whole wild pack getting in there, forces the quick throw, and the coverage is there. Lester over the top, too.
As the PA announcer says here, like a pack of dogs.
That's what they do, man, that they get to the football in bunches.
So Shane Knepp back to return the punt, standing at the 33. He's already got a touchdown on a pick 6. And they're going to kick it away from him to the far side of the field. So Peyton Lester and the offense back on the field with a 13-0 lead with 2:23 to go in the opening quarter. Brian Harder, Brian Skoronsky from Howard and East Knox High School. And the Bulldogs looking for win number 9 and a trip to the 2nd round of the Division 7 Region 27 playoffs next week. The rain continuing to fall here in a pop-up of umbrellas on the near side. And I even see a few tarps, and they're doing everything they can to stay dry down here in Howard. But the fans are out.
Always. That's what I love so much about coming down to this small community is they support their football just as well as anywhere in the state. The setup here for Steinmetz, outstanding, spinning, getting across the midfield point. Another great play by the Bulldogs. Take a look here at this spin. Whoop. 1st down for the Dogs.
Peyton Lester now 2 for 2 for 18 yards as he gets the completion up to midfield. There's movement on the line. This is going to be encroachment against the Eagles. Talk about the small school that Eastern is. They dress 24 players tonight. Now, I thought East Knox was a small team with 36 players in uniform, but 24 in uniform tonight. It's a very lonely sideline on the far side of the field.
It is. That's pushing it, too, in terms of the number of players that you need. It's such a physical sport. A lot of collisions and a big, deep shot. Net behind.
And it's
broken up.
Incomplete. And you saw the arm strength there of Peyton Lester as he was trying to find Shane Knepp, and he may have jammed a finger as he's giving it a little attention there as they're trying to get the play in from the sideline.
Yeah, that's a deep throw for a high school quarterback. Would have had to put it 50, 55 yards in the air, but Shane Knepp had 2 steps on the defensive back if you were able to put it out in front.
Delaughder, left side, first down and then some. Down to the 20, and he pushes forward to the 12, and it's going to be 1st down for the Bulldogs in the red zone. Cole Delaughder, the sophomore, with another big play.
Let's take one more look at it here. Credit basically just the blocking. How about the pulling guard? Sets up the big hole right here. And wow, look at all the running space, Brian. I think me and you might be able to fit through there side by side, buddy. And then wrapped up by the ankle before he's finally drugged down. Just a little bit too late.
So now 1st and 10 at the 12, so they can get a 1st down without scoring. Knepp shifting over to the left side. They go back to Delaughder. Up the middle. Dives forward. Touchdown for the Bulldogs. Cole Delaughder gets into the end zone. And this one could get out of hand early as Delaughder finds the end zone for the 17th time this season.
And let the confetti fly over here in the home stands. They came prepared tonight for some celebrations. They've had 3 of them already. Tasting pay dirt for the 3rd time. Great start for these Bulldogs like we expected, man. This is a team that's hungry to get deep into the postseason. And right now, through almost 1 quarter of play, showing you that they mean business, Bri. Let's take a look at this replay one more time. And it's just the guys up front winning the trenches. Delaughder, a special athlete, of course, making the stretch to get it in. But it's the blocking, man. They're winning at the point of attack basically at every position right now.
Well, and he'll be the first to tell you that. When we talked to him a few weeks ago, all he did was give credit to that offensive line and the things that they're able to do and open holes and allow him the opportunity to do the things that he does. And right now, because of that offensive line, it's now a 20-0 lead in the first quarter with 1:06 to go. And if you're a team like Eastern, and obviously you mentioned this earlier, that nobody likes to play from behind like that, but this team is not built to come from behind down 3 scores.
They come in tonight riding a 3-game win streak, but you look at the level of competition, it wasn't great. They did win the play-in game last week, but they had to do it with, a He-Man-like performance from their running back, Newland. So far, not getting it done here tonight. He did pop off for a 6-yard run on his very first carry. Since then, limited to 4 yards or less each time over the next 9 carries. So the Bulldogs, they're adjusting. They've seen what the Eagles are trying to do offensively, and right now they are shutting it down.
Another return by Braden Smith. And Smith up to the 34-yard line. You talked about those 3 wins over South Gallia 46-0, Belpre 46-0, and then last week against Southern 41-14. So the offense was able to generate some points, 133.
Sure.
And they allowed only 14. But as you mentioned, the level of competition, and I'll be honest, I don't know much about the Tri-Valley Conference, but in looking at what we have here tonight, this could be a matchup heavily in favor of the Bulldogs.
We cover the KMAC pretty heavily, and we saw it's a deep conference. You don't really get any off days, maybe with the exception of playing Mount Gilead. Wasn't so great this year. And then also the Pirates of oh, goodness. Cardington, sorry. A quick brain lapse there. I was thinking about the good teams and how many quality teams there was with the Northmore and the Fredericktown and the Centerburgs and the Highlands. All those teams up at the top of the conference, they were all tough outs. So for the Bulldogs, they're tested. They went outside of their League Two and they played some quality teams like an undefeated Crestview, which did kind of hand it to East Knox early in the season, but at the same time, they still got those looks. So for the Eagles, they weren't real competitive against the better teams on their schedule like East Knox has been so far this year, but they got a big hole here.
Newland with a big hole up the middle, gets across midfield, still on his feet, then he's finally knocked down at the 50-yard line. So a nice piece of running by Newland, and he gets the Eagles up to midfield. You talked about the level of competition. East Knox beat 6 playoff teams this year.
Yeah.
So that says a lot about the strength of their schedule as the clock winds down, and that will do it for the first quarter. The Bulldogs with a 20-0 lead as we head to the second quarter. You're watching high school playoff football live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Mazza's Restaurant first opened its doors in 1939. Today, a new generation of the Mazza family keeps that tradition alive by offering a full lunch and dinner menu highlighted by house classics like lasagna and the famous Mazza salad. Their new facility, located in Mount Vernon, also offers catering and banquet services. As former alumni of East Knox, Mazza's would like to wish the Bulldogs good luck in the playoffs. Visit Mazzas.com for weekly specials and info and make Mazza's your new dining destination.
Knox Community Hospital delivers with 3 fellowship-trained surgeons and coveted national rankings for 4 years running, all to help you beat the pain and heal faster. At Knox Community Hospital, we're elevating care.
East Knox with a 20-0 lead as we head to the second quarter. The winner of tonight's game will take on either Gloucester Trimble or Lancaster Fisher Catholic next Saturday night. And if East Knox would win, that game would be right here. I like the new playoff format and the fact that teams like Mansfield Senior, they're going to play back-to-back home games in the postseason. East Knox could play back-to-back home games.
Yeah, if you're going to let 16 teams in, there needs to be a reward for winning your conference and having a good quality regular season. Though we saw last night, Brian, for some teams that had the top seed, it didn't matter, like a Bellevue going down. How shocking was that to see Edison take them down? Worcester as a 13 seed won. I believe that I saw just of teams that we keep an eye on, 4 different squads that were double-digit seeds got wins last night. So just because you're rewarded with your home playoff games doesn't mean that you're guaranteed victories. At first, I was not in favor of the format. I think maybe I kind of like it.
Well, there's a lot of coaches. Bruce Wyrick is one of them. He doesn't like the idea of a lot of these teams, a 4-4 team, for example, getting in. They've got to drive a couple of hours from down near Meigs County. But not everybody buys into that theory, and some of those lower seeds, as you mentioned, pulled some surprises in the first round of the playoffs. There you see a run by Jaden Evans after 2 carries by Newland, and it's going to be enough, barely, for a first down for the Eagles.
Second carry for Evans tonight. Makes the most of that one. Newland obviously has been the featured performer here for the Eagles as we anticipated. And give some credit now to the guys up front offensively for the Eagles. They have won at the point of attack on a couple of runs. He popped off a 14-yard run to Newland, followed by an 8-yard run before they just picked up that first down. So they're on the move now, breaking into dog territory for the first time tonight.
Now they'll send 2 receivers to the left side. Yonker up under center, but they stay on the ground. That's Newland. Again, wrapped up by Blake Bonham, the senior. So a gain of a couple, bring up second down and 8. As we said, Eastern competes in the Hocking division of the Tri-Valley Conference. The conference was formed in 1969 in Southeast Ohio and currently has 14 schools. The Eagles joined the league back in 1993.
I don't say this often, but this is one of those situations where we need K-Mac Trav with us, Travis Berardi, who's from that part of the country and could probably give us some insight about the Eagles in this conference.
Little misdirection. That's Evans up across the 35 to the 34. So he'll pick up a couple. Again, Blake Elliott coming up from his linebacker spot to make the tackle. It's 3rd and 5. And this is where the Eagles have struggled when it comes to obvious passing situations.
Sure. But I do like that they're mixing it up. You can't just feature Newland all the time. Even though Evans, 3 carries, 6 yards, it keeps the Dogs honest, and they can't just fully put their eyeballs on number 6 and go to work on him.
Newland lines up as the tailback. They're going to give it. No, it was a
great
fake.
Play fake. Big hole.
And Yonker to the near side has the first down to the 27-yard line. Dylan Moreland came up to make the tackle, but that was a nice fake by Yonker, and it results in a first down for the Eagles.
Yeah, check this out, folks. It looks like he puts it right in the belly of Evans. Everyone thought so, including us. And then all of a sudden, 16 catches the edge. Big first down. Eagles continuing to move on this drive.
Under 9 minutes to go in the first half. And the Eagles trying to get on the scoreboard as the Bulldogs have started with 20 unanswered points. Newland up the middle, wrapped up by John Mazza. And Newland on first down picks up 4.
Already toted the rock 14 times. We're not even 4 minutes into the second quarter, so it looks like this kid's going to have 40 carries by the end of the night, and especially if they can come up here and get a score on this drive, it changes how they can approach the game moving forward. You got to match some of these Bulldog scores early. This would be a huge drive if they can cap it off.
Newland again up the middle, not much there. So they're gonna give him a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 5. As we said last week in their win over Southern, he had 386 yards on 25 carries. That's only a 15-yard per carry average. Not bad work.
Yeah, pretty nice night for him. 5 times into the end zone, too.
3rd down and 4 from the East Knox 21-yard line. Evans has the fullback. Newland has the tailback. They give it to Newland. Has a hole and a 1st down as he's upended at the 15-yard line. So they're just picking their way downfield. And he gets another 5 yards, and the chains move again for the Eagles.
And this one all set up by the blocking of the right guard. Drives his man inside, opens it up to the outside, and the Dogs got to bring him down after a nice pickup, 6 yards when they needed 5.
Ball at the East Knox 15-yard line, and the first real threat of the ball game by the Eagles. Newland tries to bounce to the outside, but he cannot get out of the arms of Briar Householder.
Yeah, check out this pursuit, guys. Sets the edge all by himself, and it's like, you know what, I'm here, I'll go ahead and make the tackle. Got a little bit of help from his buddy on his back, but that was just all set up by Householder.
Householder, a big sophomore, 6 foot, 225 pounds. He was all over Newland on that play.
First time Newland's been dropped for a loss, though, so far, Bryce, so he is one of those guys that typically is falling forward.
6:29 to go, 2nd quarter. Backs now in the eye. Dunker back to throw, and it's caught at about the 5-yard line, and that'll be now a 1st and goal. Yunker with his first completion.
Yeah, it came at an opportune time, so now it's going to make it 3rd down and short. I think he kind of got jobbed a little bit there on the spot. To me, it looked like he was going to be a lot closer to picking up 1st down yardage. They're still going to need, well, never mind. Now they're throwing down the chain gang, and they are going to award them the 1st down. They changed their minds.
Back to the ground, it's Newland. He's stuffed at the line of scrimmage. I think he may have gotten a yard. Householder again coming up with the stop.
And they're moving him around. You see he was on the right side earlier, now coming in off the left side, and, well, same result, making big tackles, shedding off blockers.
2nd and goal from the 5. The Eagles looking for only their 5th win of the season. They only played 8 games. Newland was slowed up in the backfield, unable to turn the corner as Blake Elliott, as we look at a replay, Blake Elliott, don't have the replay, but Elliott was able to kind of keep him from getting around the right side and gave his teammates time to come and finish him off. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 5.
The Householder checking out here on 3rd down.
Very productive possession for Householder as he comes out on 3rd and goal. Now, timeout is going to be called with 5 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. East Knox with a 20-0 lead. Coming up the half, we'll have the Mazza's Restaurant halftime show. We'll have the marching bands. We'll take a look at the first half numbers. As East Knox looking for win number 9, their 4th win in a row as they try to make another magical march in the postseason. We are talking about the keys to the game early, and one of those, as we've talked about upsets in the first round of the playoffs, was taking care of business, and they have been able to do that tonight. They've stayed focused against a team. Even though they're a 13 seed, they've come out, they've done some things offensively and defensively. They have not allowed the running game of Eastern to take control of this ball game.
At least until this drive, this is the first real taste of success that the ground game in the attack for the Eagles is having right now. So for the Dogs, even though you've allowed them to get down to the 5-yard line, it doesn't matter if they don't cross that goal line, Brian. So a big opportunity for them to try to make a stop and kind of demoralize your opponent too if you can move it this far and then come away with nada.
3rd and goal at the 5. They're going to look to throw. He swings it out. It's caught by Newland, and Newland is going to be stopped short of the end zone. Blake Elliott made the play, only a 3-yard gain.
I like the shiftiness of Newland here. He makes the catch. Look, 2 Dogs pursuing. Whoop, able to have them both blow by. If it's not for the backside pursuit there, he's going to get into the end zone. So that's why you need that pack of dogs coming after you, Brian.
So it's 4th and goal from the 2. The offense stays on the field. And they're going to try to get into the end zone down by 20. Newland, right side. He's not going to get in. The Bulldogs hold.
Stuffed up, and look at how many purple jerseys are in the picture right around the football. This one had no chance. Dogs stack the box. They bring the blitz from everywhere, and they get there.
Shane Knepp comes over to finish it off along with Dylan Moreland. And the Bulldogs defense holds.
Like I said, that could be a key stop for East Knox. Think about the energy you have to expend if you're the Eagles driving down the football field like that, and then you have nothing to show for it. Big momentum swinger here for the Dogs.
Delaughder on the right side gets up across the 10 to about the. Well, he's going to get about 8 yards on 1st down to bring up 2nd down and 2. This is the luxury of having a guy like Cole Delaughder, even when you're backed up and in a situation where you really don't want to throw the football, they can turn around and hand it to that talented sophomore.
Looks like they're going to do it again here.
Has enough for the 1st down as he pushes the first tackler across the 16-yard line, and he's got enough to move the chains with 3:30 to go. East Knox won the opening coin toss, and they deferred, so they would love to get some points on this drive and then not give Eastern enough time to do anything, then come back and start the 3rd quarter and keep that momentum going.
Ball control is key. In particular, if you can take care of the clock too, if the Dogs can drive down on short time here, 3 minutes and change, and get some more points, could be super critical for them. But I think just that defense in the stand that they made right there, Brian, it's got to weigh heavy on Eastern not being able to come away with points when they finally were able to move the football.
Timeout taken by Eastern with 3 minutes to go before halftime. Would you have at least tried to get a field goal and get some points in that drive?
I think they made the right decision. You're down by 20 points. You need 3 touchdowns regardless, so probably the right move. The toss sweep, though, to the short side of the field, maybe one of your cute plays or whatever, if you've got like a double pass or something and you throw it back to the quarterback, that might have been a good time for it. You needed points right there. That could have been huge for your team. If it's 20-7 now instead of 20-0, Bri, I would have unloaded anything that I had that worked in practice.
Cody Reese really has his entire playbook at his disposal here. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. And Lester's going to go back, look to throw. He's got a receiver. It's going to be incomplete as he overthrows Carson Steinmetz.
And you almost never see Peyton Lester do this. Watch Steinmetz get in behind the coverage. You see he breaks out of the tight end position. The linebacker falls all over himself. He's got 5 yards of space, and that's as close as it gets right off the fingertips, man.
2nd down and 10. It does stop the clock with 3:11 to go before halftime. Peyton Lester would love to have that one back and shorten it up just a little bit. Delaughder off the left side. Breaks some tackles, gets across the 25 to the 27. He's close to a 1st down depending on the spot. wrapped up by Gavin Smith, and that's going to be enough. They'll move the chains with 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
What a tough run. First contact comes right at the line of scrimmage. Second contact a couple of yards later. Look at the stiff arm right into the face mask, too. This is a physical runner.
Leicester back to throw. Swings it out. This one's caught by Dylan Moreland.
Another first down. They're going to move the chains and offense now in 2-minute drill mode, Brian. Not going to huddle up. Keep the defense guessing. Don't allow them to huddle and talk.
Leicester swings it out, and was this one a catch?
Looked like it to me. So give him 11 more yards. Leicester hit his last few, and he's starting to feel it a little bit. I like there, too. He looked out to the flat. He used his eyes to move the safety just enough to squeeze that baby in there.
Now they go back to the ground. It's Delaughder. And he gets about 6 to the 45-yard line. He's wrapped up by Anthony Reed. Quickly back to the line. They'll send 3 receivers to the left side, and perhaps another throwing down for Leicester. Feels the pressure. He's going to run, and a little late hit there at the 41-yard line as he was tackled by Brady Yonker, and a flag comes flying in. That's going to be a late hit. And the Eagle quarterback committing the penalty there, he should understand how important it is to not go in there and drill a quarterback like that.
And don't you just love the poise and the calmness, the effectiveness of Leicester when he's in the pocket? Everything's breaking down. The world's crumbling around him, and all he does calmly sneaks out of there, picks up first down yardage, plus the flag comes in late with the late hit. We anticipate at least it's going to be for that, so probably tack on 15 more. Peyton Leicester, to me, has the best pocket awareness of a quarterback that I had covered this season. Just nothing impacts him. He never feels frazzled. That's why he's the leader in the KMAC, the conference regular season passing champion for yards, touchdowns, completions, the whole 9 yards. And yeah, here they are walking off the extra 15 yards, Bri.
Leicester 4 of 7 for 43 yards. A rather quiet night for him. But the Bulldogs will take it 20-0. It's now 1st and 10 as they spot the football at the Eagle 27. Leicester steps up in the pocket, looks right side of the end zone.
Oh!
And it's going to be incomplete. Cole Delaughder was the intended target. That'll stop the clock with 1:23 to go. 2nd and 10 from the Eagle 27.
Delaughder, that would have been a skyscraper of a catch. I thought that he had it actually at first.
Leicester, they set up the screen. Gets
Perfectly.
it to Delaughder. And Delaughder inside the 20, still on his feet, down to the 10, to the 5, touchdown.
That run was flat out insane. The execution, 110% maximum. We'll show you the replay after this PAT. They just perfectly, flawlessly pulled off that play, Brian. Everybody was fooled, and then the run after the blocking, just all perfect, man. That was like a Maz's meatball, buddy. Just mwah. Pure taste.
Extra point is up and good, and East Knox with a 27-0 lead after the touchdown pass. This was a nice screen, and as you talked about, well executed, and then Delaughder just does the rest.
Look at all the purple jerseys that are out in front. He never even has an Eagle hand laid on him because there are 7 blockers that all formed in front of him after they let the defensive line break through. Lester, calm in the pocket, per usual, gets it out to him. And you said it, Delaughder able to follow his blocks, do the rest, get into the end zone. Dogs now with a 4-score advantage. Pouring it on a little bit here before the break, getting closer to that running clock situation.
Lester with touchdown pass number 23. That leads the KMAC. And, in fact, the closest to him coming into tonight was Jack Gregory of Centerburg, who had 17. So Lester really setting the bar high in the KMAC this year, having an outstanding season. And a lot of that can be attributed to the running game because that takes a lot of pressure, and you can't just go back and worry about the passing game of East Knox. And that's what I think makes this team perhaps the best team in the KMAC, their balance.
Yeah, they marry the running attack perfectly with the play action. You saw that basically was able to set up that screenplay, just putting the fear into the opponent that Delaughder's going to carry the ball again. Instead, you sneak him out of the backfield, makes the catch, bunch of moves. 5th time in the receiving game Delaughder's gotten into the end zone this season.
Braden Smith with the return up to the 45-yard line. So now Eastern down 27-0. And we could be looking at a running clock situation here in the second half.
Let's see what the Eagles look like when they're obvious passing downs and Yonkers got to go to work through the air.
Yonker back to throw, has some time. It's incomplete. He had plenty of time. The offensive line did a nice job.
Here you see on the Amado's replay, Dogs sitting in zone coverage. It's open. If you make the catch, you're probably going to get blown up. So he could have caught it. You want to throw that back shoulder, though, to help out your wide receiver.
4 receivers set with 1:05 to go before halftime. Yonker rolling to his left, sets, fires. It's tipped and incomplete. And Yonker's lucky that one wasn't picked off.
Yeah, no question about it. The Bulldogs defense, again, the secondary right where they need to be. Some pressure coming off the edge. The pass, 3 Dogs are there. Knepp knocks it up. Almost came down with the catch. 3rd down on the way.
Yonker's going to run it, and he ran right into the arms of John Mazza, who slowed him down. And it's going to be 4th and 10. And a timeout taken by East Knox with 49 seconds to go because they could get pretty good field position here and stick some points on the board before halftime.
Yeah, they could. It could be a running clock to start the 3rd quarter. Mazza making that play all on his own. It looked initially like Yonkers was going to have a little bit of greenery in front of him, maybe take it for 5, 6, 7 yards. Instead, the contact by Mr. Mazza makes it basically, I don't think he picked up anything on the play.
Brady Yonker, 2 of 7 passing for only 13 yards. He's been picked off. That was returned for a touchdown. And that is not what they want to do, the Eagles. They do not want to have to rely on a passing game, but they're down 27-0.
And in 4th down situation here, you need 10 yards. Boy, if you're the Eagles, you probably do got to punt this ball, don't you? Short time. I know you'd hate to give it back to the enemy here, trailing by 4 touchdowns. But you just don't want to give them the quality field position. Oh, but they might anyways.
Ball sails past the punter, Braden Smith. He's going to pick it up and run it. And there's going to be an illegal block at about the 21-yard line, and East Knox is going to be gift-wrapped an opportunity here with 39 seconds to go before halftime.
Yeah, it's going to be a block in the back, Bry. Here's a look at the high snap again. That's all it was. And then you see the Dogs just terrorizing him through the middle. 3 guys come breaking through.
Now you're going to see the block in the back here right there.
Yeah, no question. So
Anthony Reed came in and committed the penalty. So East Knox will get the ball. And they will be deep in Eagle territory, looking to add to a 27-0 lead.
yeah, how deep are they going to get this thing? I think it's going to be in the red zone.
Well, they have not spotted the ball. They well, looks like they're going to deny the penalty or decline the penalty, and they're going to get the ball at the 30.
Sure, 'cause it wasn't after the play, that's right, so it wouldn't be tacked on at the end of the run. I think in the NFL they have a couple of rules like that where they'll tack on, but not at the high school level. But still, 40 seconds here from the 30, plenty of time for Lester and company.
Lester back to throw, has some time, steps up, and he's hit. That's going to be an incomplete pass.
One of the first times tonight that we've seen Eastern get some real pressure, and you see Payne staying calm as a cucumber in the pocket, but when he steps up, just too many guys around, takes a big hit.
Second down and 10. Fortunately for East Knox, it was called an incomplete pass, so it also stopped the clock. East Knox with 1 timeout remaining. Lester with some time, steps up again, feels the pressure. And he's going to swing it out. That's Knepp. At the 10, down to the 5. Touchdown, Shane Knepp.
Third time's a charm for number 11 tonight. Look at him. He's like, man, I can't do no wrong tonight, can I? The confetti flying here in Howard. People are having a great time. It's going to be a running clock to start the second half. The seniors showing out, and I can't wait to show this replay again. Number 3 sets it all up just with his pocket awareness, Brian. It looked like he should have been dropped down for a sack, Lester. Instead, he moves out of the pocket. He finds his buddy, and it just makes it easier when you can escape like he did. Too easy for these Dogs, man.
Lester now over 2,000 yards passing on the season. The extra point is up, and it's good. And East Knox with a 34-0 lead with 24 seconds to go before the intermission.
So you see the Eagles bring the heat off the right side. Everything's collapsing, but somehow Peyton Lester stays cool. He doesn't go across the line of scrimmage. Shane Knepp coming all the way across the formation, makes the catch, the block set up, and he's able to get into the end zone for the 3rd time tonight in 3 different ways. A rushing touchdown, a pick 6, and now how about in the receiving game, Shane Knepp trying to make a case for being the MVP of the game.
Lester, 6 of 11 in the first half, 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now they have the luxury in the second half, does East Knox. You can just go back and give the football to Cole Delaughder and let him secure things in the second half.
Yeah, where they tee this up, let's go ahead and show you this full play from start to finish here. I was most impressed just by the pocket awareness of Lester to be able to evade the pressure. Nice big block there at the end, too. But then once Knepp gets it, how about downfield blocking by the wide receivers? It looked like a little bit of quit there by the Eagles, too. Don't like seeing that.
Well, the ball's going to be down by Ryan Ross, so the Eagles will get it back with 2 timeouts, 23 seconds to go. And I would be shocked if they didn't just go back and drop to a knee and go into the locker room down 34-0.
You know, I don't know. I've never really been a coach except for of a 5th grade football team, Brian. But for me, for my money, if I'm down 34 points, what does it matter at this point? I'm going to the aerial attack. I'm drawing up some Hail Mary looking throw, trying to get some points.
I could see you coaching 5th graders. That would be fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. The Black Knights.
the Black Knights.
Yeah, we were a wreck. But we had a good time.
1st and 10 from the 32. They will stay on the ground. And the carry is by Jaden Evans. And that will probably be the final play of the first half, as they are not in a hurry to get back to the line of scrimmage. So East Knox with a 34-0 lead at the intermission. You're watching high school playoff football live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Mazza's Restaurant first opened its doors in 1939. Today, a new generation of the Mazza family keeps that tradition alive by offering a full lunch and dinner menu highlighted by house classics like lasagna, chicken parmesan, and the famous Mazza salad. Their new facility, located in Mount Vernon, also offers catering and banquet services. As former alumni of East Knox, Mazza's would like to wish the Bulldogs good luck in the playoffs. Visit Mazzas.com for weekly specials and info and make Mazza's your new dining destination.
Knox Community Hospital delivers with 3 fellowship-trained surgeons and coveted national rankings for 4 years running, all to help you beat the pain and heal faster. At Knox Community Hospital, we're elevating care.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today?
Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not
Podcast.
both?
Pigskin.
Podcast. Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
Hi, this is Brock Ross from the Danville office of the Kilbuck Savings Bank, and I want to wish the Danville Blue Devils all the best for a great season.
And this is Dee Scott from the Apple Valley office of the Kilbuck Savings Bank, and I'm here to wish the East Knox Bulldogs an awesome season.
We may root for different teams, but we are together in our efforts to service the financial needs of our neighbors and friends in the Knox County area.
Supporting our community is even more important today. So contact me, Dee Scott, at the Apple Valley office.
Or me, Brock Ross, at Danville.
The Kilbuck Savings Bank, your community partner, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Oh my goodness, what a catch!
First opened its doors in 1939. Today, a new generation of the Mazza family keeps that tradition alive by offering a full lunch and dinner menu highlighted by house classics like lasagna, chicken parmesan, and the famous Mazza salad. Their new facility, located in Mount Vernon, also offers catering and banquet services. As former alumni of East Knox, Mazza's would like to wish the Bulldogs good luck in the playoffs. Visit Mazzas.com for weekly specials and info and make Mazza's your new dining destination.
Knox Community Hospital delivers with 3 fellowship-trained surgeons and coveted national rankings for 4 years running, all to help you beat the pain and heal faster. At Knox Community Hospital, we're elevating care.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today?
Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not
Podcast.
both?
Pigskin.
Podcast. Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Oh, there's so much space in here.
Hi, this is Brock Ross from the Danville office of the Kilbuck Savings Bank, and I want to wish the Danville Blue Devils all the best for a great season.
And this is Dee Scott from the Apple Valley office of the Kilbuck Savings Bank, and I'm here to wish the East Knox Bulldogs an awesome season.
We may root for different teams, but we are together in our efforts to service the financial needs of our neighbors and friends in the Knox County area.
Supporting our community is even more important today. So contact me, Dee Scott, at the Apple Valley office.
Or me, Brock Ross, at Danville.
The Kilbuck Savings Bank, your community partner, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Oh my goodness, what a catch!
Welcome to the Mazda's Restaurant halftime show. I am Brian Harder along with Brian Skoronsky, and it's a 35-0 lead in favor of East Knox. And as we take a look at the halftime numbers, it's going to be pretty much what we thought it might be heading into this matchup. When you look at a number 4 seed taking on a number 13, complete dominance by East Knox. Now, there are the numbers. It was a little Halloween trick-or-treat action there. Something got into the computer.
It can't be all treats, Brian, or it's not the full flavor of Halloween. Come on.
241 total yards, 11 first downs, a little bit of the balance that we talked about early, and East Knox has not committed a penalty in the first half.
I think they looked really good. They were doing nice things in the run game. Peyton Lester doing some quality things in the pass game. They put those together. They've had explosive plays. The biggest, I think, sequence of the game was them getting the stand defensively where they didn't allow Eastern to get into the end zone. It was just a 20-0 game. The Dogs stood tall defensively. They held them out there, and then from there, it's all kind of went lopsided in terms of East Knox. Eastern hasn't put together much offense since then, Brian, so I really felt like that was a turning point, and it's been all Bulldogs since then.
And the one turnover for Eastern was big. It was early. It was the pick six, and that really kind of set the tone for Eastern. We knew they didn't want to come in throwing the football, and that really had to kind of demoralize Yonker in the passing game.
That showed you why they don't want to throw the football. Not only is it something that they're not 100% comfortable with, being a run first, run second, run third kind of team, but also because the secondary of East Knox has been opportunistic all season. They got a lot of guys out there that move fast to the football. They knock it down. They play solid. They play sharp. And up front, too, you saw the Bulldogs, with the exception of that one drive, winning the battle of the trenches. That's why they got this. I got them down for 34-0. They never went for two, and they missed a PAT. I think the scoreboard's wrong here. I really do.
Yeah,
Isn't it
The
34?
scoreboard says 35.
I think they're wrong.
So individually, Brady Yonker, 2 of 7 through the air for 13 yards. He did throw the pick 6. Peyton Lester, 6 of 11 for 100 yards. He has 2 touchdown passes, and he has looked like himself. He's been able to throw the ball extremely well, spread it around a little bit, and Cole Delaughder has been Cole Delaughder.
Versatile Cole Delaughder, man. Over 1,000 yards now. He needed 75 to get to 1,000. Well, he's got 76 now, Brian, as though he, planned that out, and then made the big play in the passing game, too, where he had the screen pass, got into the end zone. Doing it in both ways, as we see from week to week, and he just progressively gets better.
Peyton Lester needed 78 yards coming into tonight to reach 2,000. He has 100 yards for the first half, so he has eclipsed that mark for East Knox. We're going to take another timeout. We'll come back with the third quarter here as we are finishing up the Mazda's Restaurant halftime show. The East Knox Bulldogs up big, 35-0, as we get ready for the third quarter. You're watching high school playoff football live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Hi, this is Brock Ross from the Danville office of the Kilbuck Savings Bank, and I want to wish the Danville Blue Devils all the best for a great season.
And this is Dee Scott from the Apple Valley office of the Kilbuck Savings Bank, and I'm here to wish the East Knox Bulldogs an awesome season.
We may root for different teams, but we are together in our efforts to service the financial needs of our neighbors and friends in the Knox County area.
Supporting our community is even more important today. So contact me, Dee Scott, at the Apple Valley office.
Or me, Brock Ross, at Danville.
The Kilbuck Savings Bank, your community partner, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Okay, the Ghouls and Goblins have taken control of the scoreboard, but we have it straightened out now. The official score is East Knox 34 and Eastern nothing. East Knox did miss the first extra point, and there was some issue with the official scoreboard here at the stadium, but everything has been fixed, and we are now ready to go here in the third quarter. The winner of tonight's game will take on either Gloucester Trimble or Lancaster Fisher Catholic. I don't know if we can get a score from that game, but right now East Knox looking at week number 12 of high school football in the 2021 season and win number 9. And all they have to do right now is take care of Eastern here in the second half.
In a great position to do so, Brian, even though they lost that point on halftime that the Ghoul went and put up there for them. 34-zip in favor of the Dogs. They've been sharp in all facets of the game, pitching that shutout offensively. They have not been stopped yet here tonight, so everything rolling for the home team here in Howard, as it usually does. This team, phenomenal playing at home this season. I believe they're going for 6-0 tonight here in the friendly confines.
And we have talked about what the offense does for East Knox, but I've been really impressed with what the defense has done. They have not allowed Eastern to do anything. They've been able to run the football a little bit, but they've also been able to keep their big running back, Bryce Newland, in check.
No question about it. They're winning the battle of the trenches. When they're not, the linebackers are coming up and making some big plays in the passing game. You know, really nothing is available for Eastern. They've only had a couple of completions on the night. Shane Knepp had that big pick six early in the game, I think on the first passing attempt of the night, if memory serves. So the Bulldogs getting it done in all facets of the game.
As you notice, both teams had to switch sides, so Halloween has really had a weird effect on everybody here in Howard on Halloween Eve.
And I can give you a quick halftime score. Fisher Catholic trails Trimble 26-0 at the break, and the Tomcats get the ball to open up the third quarter.
So a little trickery there on the kickoff, but it's going to be recovered by East Knox. They will have the football just shy of midfield as they try to add to a 34-0 lead as we get ready to start the third quarter, and we will have the running clock here in the second half unless Eastern is able to get some points on the board very soon.
Anything over 30, of course, that baby's going to continue to run. So for the Dogs, it's your friend. You want to just get out of here healthy, and it looks like obviously you're going to be matching up with the Trimble team that they're a perennial powerhouse. They get into the postseason every single year. They go pretty deep often. They used to be in a different region, now playing where the Dogs play, and probably be coming here to Howard next week. So for them, I think it's mostly in the second half. You want to be sharp, Brian. You want to be crisp and make the right decisions, but at the same time, health always paramount.
Delaughder gets 6 yards on his first carry of the third quarter, and that is always the concern of a coach in this situation, especially in a playoff game. How long do you keep your starters in? The last thing you want is a Cole Delaughder or a Peyton Lester getting hurt when you're up 34-0. That's Delaughder again off the right side, across the 45, down to the 43. So he'll pick up a couple as he is wrapped up by Brandon Oldacre. They'll give him forward progress to about the 43, so that'll make it 3rd down and 3.
And for East Knox, playbook wide open right here. If you want to, play action, take a shot, or you can go safe, just keep it on the ground with number 12, which they do.
And Delaughder gets the first down to the 35-yard line. He was tripped up by Jaden Evans, the senior linebacker, but the chains move. And this defense for the Eagles really has nothing in a way of solving the offense of East Knox.
Because the Bulldogs are so hard to game plan for, they run it well, they pass it very efficiently. I don't know how teams have been able to stop them this season outside of Crestview when I watched earlier, but that was early in the season, Brian. I think this team has grown a lot. They had a lot more playmakers, Crestview did, on that team. You know, this is a tough Bulldog squad to really slow down.
Lester, forced out of the pocket. He's going to run inside the 35 down to about the 32, so he'll pick up about 4.
Just the second time that Lester's actually taken off and ran tonight. We've seen him move the pocket on a few different occasions and make some nice throws. 8 yards now, 2 carries for Peyton.
As you mentioned, only 2 losses on the season for East Knox. They lost to Crestview and then they lost to Northmore.
2 playoff teams playing at home tonight.
Lester swings it out. This one's caught. Steinmetz inside the 30 down to about the 26-yard line. So a pickup of 7.
Just sneaking them out. He sees there's nobody within 10 yards of him, so Steinmetz recognizing that, turns, looks for the football, and it's going to be a Bulldog first down.
Now they'll put 2 receivers on the near side. Delaughder as the running back, and there's movement on the line. This is going to be a penalty against Eastern.
Their 3rd penalty of the night. Bulldogs have yet to have a flag thrown against them. So playing clean football. Always a sign of a well-coached team.
Ball marched down to the 21. We'll make it 1st and 5. And Lester back to throw. Swings it out. Caught by Knepp. And Knepp trying to get away from would-be tacklers. A flag flies from the defensive backfield.
Flag down.
And let's see what the penalty is. It's going to be a penalty against the offense, so it will wipe away the reception by Knepp.
I just got done complimenting them for having a perfect game so far with no penalty flags, and that announcer jinx, Brian, it always comes up at some point, doesn't it?
Cody Reese is going to give you the glare from the sideline.
He's not looking at me yet, so I'm just going to duck behind the computer. Maybe he won't even know I'm here.
So the penalty moves the ball out to the 36-yard line. And it will make it 1st and 20 as we're under 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Look at the Bulldogs with quads here to the left side.
Delaughder goes wide to the right. Looks like Lester trying to draw Eastern offside. He already had them drawn off once in this drive. And they're going to take a timeout with 6:35 to go. It's all Bulldogs, 34-0. East Knox, the number 4 seed in Division 7, Region 27. Eastern, the number 13 seed out of the Tri-Valley Conference. Eastern coming into tonight's action 4-4. They have played only 8 games in the regular season. Their Week 6 game against Trimble was canceled due to COVID. They've come down the stretch winning their last 3 ball games. But they have come into a buzzsaw tonight here on Halloween Eve as they have taken on the 8-2 Bulldogs of East Knox, and it has been all purple and white. 34-0 with 6:35 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, it's cool to get into the postseason if you're Eastern, having to win 3 in a row to punch their ticket into playoff time. But when your reward is you have to come on the road to Howard and play an East Knox team that's also won 3 in a row, beat some quality football teams like Fredericktown, Highland, and Danville to get there. A lot of treats here for the Bulldogs and maybe a little bit of a trick.
Lester back to throw. It's incomplete. He was trying to hit Blake Bonham.
It was a pretty good throw by Lester, too. It's on the money. Bonham just couldn't squeeze it.
2nd down and 20.
But look at how fast the third quarter goes by with that running clock.
Lester tried to set up the screen, gets it to Knepp. And Knepp with some room after the catch and after initial contact. He's close to a first down, pushes the pile down close to the 10. And it's going to be a first down for the Bulldogs. A nifty piece of running by Shane Knepp.
Look at how well, again, the Bulldogs set up the screen game. 5 Eagles come breaking through the line of scrimmage. You can't know that it's that easy, Eastern. And then Shane Knepp, boy, what a dynamic runner. But we've seen on about 4 different occasions tonight where look at all the guys with, 50s on their jersey getting out and blocking downfield, Brian. East Knox, phenomenal game plan, good execution.
24 yards on the reception. And then they go back to the ground. That's Delaughder up the middle inside the 10 down to about the 6. And Delaughder just pushes the pile. And it'll be a pickup of 5. 2nd down. Actually, not a pickup of 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
Just a lot of drive there for Delaughder. Did not want to go down. Continued the fight until finally 3 Eastern players were able to get him down at the 6-yard line.
Delaughder, left side, gets close to the end zone. Did he get in? No signal yet. Yes, touchdown. He given up by the Eagles. And East Knox now with 40, looking for 41 on the PAT.
Another nice piece of blocking here by the Bulldogs up front. And then Cole doing what he does. keeping the play alive with the muscle drive, and then reaching a little bit as he flips his way into the end zone, getting in for the second time tonight.
Jensen with the extra point. It is up, and it is good. The Bulldogs with a 41-0 lead as they march down the field and put 7 more on the board with 4:24 to go before the end of the third quarter.
And what kind of answer is Eastern going to put together here in the second half? At this point, you're just playing for pride, Brian. You just don't want to get wiped off the map, get shut out, and have the Bulldogs with this big goose egg on your side. So I want to see this team, what kind of fight they have left in them, and even if their best fight is good enough to get points on the board, sometimes you can give it your all and it just doesn't matter because the opponent is that much bigger, better, more talented, and has a better game plan. So let's see what Eastern has for us this last quarter and a half, though. It's going to go by quick with that running clock. One more look at the touchdown. Just a thing of beauty, man.
Delaughder rolls his way into the end zone.
And I know at Amato's tonight that if you show up, I think they close at 10 o'clock, but if you're a kid in a costume tonight, $5 pepperoni pizza. So I don't know, maybe if we have time after the post game, Brian, we can roll up, throw a little something on, trick them, get a $5 pie.
Let's see. I'm going to put on my Travis Berardi mask.
And look like a little kid all over again. Fantastic. Yeah, we got some youth on the squad, don't we? At least some young-looking guys with him and Andy Jardy.
We do.
Both in their 30s, though.
Yes, and that is young.
Young-ish, Brian.
Young-ish.
Young-ish. My
it's
bones
all
hurt.
relative. Bryce Newland with the return up close to the 48-yard line. So the Eagles will take over down 41-0. As we mentioned, the Eagles coming into tonight shorthanded. They only had 26 players on their roster, only 24 dressed. So obviously a lot of these players are playing both ways. And then you come on the road to play a team like East Knox on Halloween Eve.
It was a tough task right from the jump. They're going to take a timeout actually here after they just huddled up and had a chance to talk things over. So things coming a little unraveled here, like a mummy not wanting to go into the final tombstone, Brian. What are they going to do, though? You know that they're probably going to have to put it up through the air. But who knows? At this point, with 41-0, the game's over. It's out of reach. You're going to have the running clock. Maybe just stick to your guns, run the football, and try to put together another nice drive. They've only had one so far. Get some confidence going. Hey, the whole bag of tricks better be available here to empty because after this next quarter and a half, you know, the season's over.
You talked about strength of schedule. This team with 4 wins. Lexington at Arlen Field yesterday with only 4 wins, but it was a vastly different ball game. The Lexington program obviously plays in the OCC, so their schedule is a lot more difficult. And this is not something that these players – it's going to be a long bus ride back to Reedsville.
Not all 4-13 matchups are created equally, of course, Brian.
Very well said. Very well said.
You know, Travis, K-Mac, Trav, and I did a show on Sunday where we broke down all of the playoff brackets, and some of them, I mean, there's some bears in there where you'll have 13 of the 16 teams that all have winning records. This was not one of them. This one kind of sets up for the Bulldogs. You know, they're going to have a tough second-week matchup, and then maybe if they can get past that into the semifinals, more challenging games. But at least the opening round games, you didn't really see any potential for a number 13, 14, or 15 seed to win.
Which you have to give Cody Reese and his staff a lot of credit as Jonker drops back to throw and it's incomplete. You have to give Cody Reese and his staff a lot of credit because it would have been easy to come in and kind of go through the motions. But in watching what East Knox is doing tonight, they have come out, they have been focused, they haven't committed a lot of penalties, and they have played well.
As you would expect from a Cody Reese coach team. I love his demeanor and what he brings to the table. Super organized. He expects a lot out of his guys, and when that is the bar that you're expecting success, that's what guys tend to produce. That's what they got going on right now in Howard.
3rd down and 9 from the Eastern 49-yard line. Yonker to throw, again hit as he threw. It falls incomplete. He is 0 for 2 here in the 3rd quarter throwing the football. It's now 4th and 9 from the 49-yard line. And I think they're just going to go back and kick this away as Braden Smith goes back in punt formation. Shane Knepp back to receive the kick for East Knox. And as we're under 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, see if East Knox can get a play or two off before the end of the period. And Knepp is going to watch it take an Eastern roll inside the 15 down to the 13 where Bryce Newland goes and downs the ball. So with 1:25 to go in the 3rd quarter, East Knox with a 41-0 lead.
And I think at this point, let's see the JV kids play for the Bulldogs offense. There is no point in sending Peyton Lester, Delaughder, and company out there. And that's what we're going to see here, Brian. Here's the future of Bulldog football going to be on display for the next quarter in $1:25.
Well, and how exciting this is, too, for these kids to get time, a lot of time, in a playoff game here at home.
Excellent spot here for these youngsters.
They'll stay on the ground. And Luke Holsinger, a 5'6" freshman, gets the carry. This helps to whet the appetite for these youngsters as they're going to come in and get some reps in a playoff game in front of this home crowd. The new quarterback is Brayson Davis, a 5'6" sophomore. Perhaps the heir apparent to Peyton Lester. We have seen him in limited action earlier in the season. Davis is going to run the ball and just get to the 10-yard line, and that is probably going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Tucker Ash came up to make the stop, a senior defensive lineman for the Eagles. And they're going to trot over to the sideline, and that will be the final play of the 3rd quarter as we head to the 4th. East Knox 41 and Reedsville Eastern nothing. You're watching high school playoff football live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Mazza's Restaurant first opened its doors in 1939. Today, a new generation of the Mazza family keeps that tradition alive by offering a full lunch and dinner menu highlighted by house classics like lasagna, chicken parmesan, and the famous Mazza salad. Their new facility, located in Mount Vernon, also offers catering and banquet services. As former alumni of East Knox, Mazza's would like to wish the Bulldogs good luck in the playoffs. Visit Mazzas.com for weekly specials and info and make Mazza's your new dining destination.
Knox Community Hospital delivers with 3 fellowship-trained surgeons and coveted national rankings for 4 years running, all to help you beat the pain and heal faster. At Knox Community Hospital, we're elevating
Mazza's.
We are back here at East Knox. Tonight's high school playoff game is being brought to you by Mazza's Restaurant in Mount Vernon. Order online now for pickup or delivery at Mazzas.com or call Mazzas at 740-397-2076. And by the Kilbuck Savings Bank, community banking, it's what we do, it's who we are every single day. By Knox Community Hospital, elevating care. And by Amato's Wood-Fired Pizza, an incredible wood-fired wings. Pick up pepperoni pizza for just $5 today for all kids in a costume. East Knox with a 41-0 lead as we head into the 4th quarter. And they're going to give the ball back to Eastern. Not an enviable situation here as Delaughder is going to stand at the goal line. So he should give the ball to Eastern in pretty good field position, and they're going to try to break this 41-0 shutout that the Bulldogs are pitching here in Week 11.
First time they've stopped the East Knox offense here today.
And he kicks it off the side of his foot, goes out of bounds in front of the East Knox bench, and not a good kick at all. One of the few mistakes that Cole Delaughder has made tonight as he gives the ball to the Eagles just inside the 30-yard line. As we said, the winner of tonight's game will take on the Gloucester Trimble Lancaster Fisher Catholic winner.
Try to get another update on that one.
Peyton Lester's night is over, 8 of 14, 131 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And it's now 32-0 late in the third quarter. Trimble, the Tomcats, all over Fisher Catholic.
So it looks like as Yonker drops back to throw, looks over the middle, and it's caught and into the end zone for a touchdown. Goes Jaden Evans.
So showing some signs of life here. I was asking before the break, what type of fight are we going to see from this Eagles team? I love that even though they're going against the second unit of the Bulldogs, who cares, man? Come out here, get yours. Have fun for the fourth there. That's about as good a time as the Eagles have had all night long here in Howard.
They have avoided the shutout, and Yonker throws a 21-yard touchdown pass. And the extra point will be attempted by Landon Randolph, the junior. The extra point is up and good. So East Knox with a 41-7 lead now, and as it stands right now, they will host Gloucester Trimble next week here at Chet Looney Stadium. And that should be a good matchup. Gloucester Trimble year in and year out is an outstanding football program. Number 4 seed taking on a number 5 seed.
Yeah, so if you break it down like that, once you get past the initial round with these 16 teams, now it's the real teams that, at least from the seasons past, would get into postseason play. So this is a true 4-5 matchup, Brian, where it's some tough, hard-nosed football teams that you expect to be super competitive. The Tomcats are no easy out. I know that Lucas had trouble getting past them a few postseasons ago, probably like 5-6 years when they were just starting to get things going out there. So this is another program like an East Knox, like a Lucas, a small school program that gets into the postseason just about every single year and tends to make some noise.
But as you mentioned earlier, you had a few sprinkled upsets there in the first night of the playoffs with a few double-digit seeds getting some wins. But for the most part, it is shaken out pretty much like it is tonight. You know, last night we had, Mansfield Senior beating Lexington, and that was – those seeds were – there's about the same margin as tonight. Barnett's going to down it at about the 20-yard line, and that's where East Knox will take over. Again, the running clock here in the fourth quarter. The Bulldogs with a 41-7 lead. So now they'll start thinking about, after this night is over, they'll try to get a scouting report ready for Gloucester Trimble. And that's the exciting part about the postseason and playing teams that you don't know. It was different last night because Mansfield Senior and Lexington knew each other. And they'd played each other during the regular season. They're playing the same conference.
Sure.
When you get into situations like this, you're not as familiar with the opposition other than what you can find, through statistics and just looking at the numbers.
And Trimble's from Athens County, so they're from Southern Ohio too, just like these Eagles are. East Knox, not a team that you would regularly play until you get into the postseason. Going to be a fun matchup. Great contest here next week for Week 12. Trimble been playing pretty well. I just pulled up their schedule here, Bri. They have been lighting some teams up here as of late. Got a 4-game win streak coming into tonight. 40-0, 57-8, 34-0, 35-0. So they're looking to pitch their 4th shutout in 5 tries here tonight.
Now, as you say that, though,
look at
who the wins. They've played Belpre, Southern. That's in the same conference.
Correct. So the competition not great, but handling business as they should, hammering some teams that aren't on their level.
Second down, Davis flush from the pocket, and he's going to look to throw, and it's almost picked off. So the first pass attempt of the night for Brayson Davis, and it falls to the turf, and it will bring up a 3rd down and 8.
So for the Bulldogs, the most important thing, just let that clock run, man.
Take care of the football. Don't turn it over. If they can get a first down, that would be nice.
But obviously, if the Eagles were to score again, it ends that running clock situation that the Bulldogs are enjoying right now. So you're right, some first downs, definitely helpful. Can't turn it over, but it looks like Eastern's jumped off sides again. I think this would be the 3rd time tonight.
So instead of 3rd down and 8, it's going to make it 3rd down and 3. Brayson Davis, a 5'6", 130-pound sophomore.
A little bit undersized for quarterback.
Yeah, he'll have a little bit more manageable 3rd down and 3. Going to pitch it out to the near side. That's Holsinger, and he cannot turn the corner as he is tackled by Jaden Evans. So he lost a couple yards. It'll be 4th down and 6. And Delaughder back to kick inside the 15-yard line. And again, Eastern's going to get decent field position with about 6.5 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, especially if Delaughder punts it in the same fashion that he just did, where it came off the side of his foot for about a 10-yard differential in field position. So he's got Peyton Lester in front of him blocking. Much better looking punt here, though it's not great.
It's a high, short kick, and Newland takes it at the 43. So that's where the Eagles will take over. Down 41-7. Talked about that 2019 season. East Knox won the KMAC, going a perfect 7-0 in conference games, 13-1 overall. The Bulldogs saw their season come to an end in the Division VI state semifinals, getting beat by Springfield New Middleton 42-14. And they still talk about that season down here in Howard.
In New Middleton, I'm trying to think who ended up beating them in the state championship game, but it was one of the more exciting games that I've ever seen in my entire life. The ups and downs of that 3rd and 4th quarter were absolutely insane. But the Bulldogs that year, how many great memories did they have? I mean, I remember when it was 7-0 Northmore versus 7-0 East Knox, the game of the year, and then the Bulldogs lit them up. Final score was like 41-0 in that one, and it was like, well, this team's the real deal. Caleb Gallwitz, crazy numbers. He was the Division VI Offensive Player of the Year, Division VII, I should say. That was a really fun team, a lot of great memories, and they should still be talked about around here, Brian, because when that's the best team that you've had in program history, I mean, it was still not that long ago.
It's not that long ago. You're right. 2 years ago. Newland with a short gain. We'll call it 2nd and 10. He gets the ball again. Bounces to the outside. He's got some running room. Jumps over a would-be tackler.
Oh, wow.
And he's out of bounds. A flag is down. That is more of a thing now as tacklers are attacking low. You're seeing running backs jump over would-be tacklers. And let's see what this penalty is back at the 26-yard line.
You hope it doesn't wipe out that incredible run, but judging by the Coach Newland's expression there, it looks like this is going to be coming back.
In the neighborhood of an illegal block, but they have not said anything, but they are marching back.
You ever see a coach this far out on the field talking to an official? I mean, he's like 20 yards out there.
He is making his case. Pat Newland in his 13th season as the head coach of the Eagles. The Eagles are 48-69 under Newland, and when you're down 41-7, getting a little frustrated.
Well, especially, I assume that him and Bryce are related when you see someone like that make a play like he just did, and it's going to get wiped out because of a penalty way downfield. You know, it makes you mad. I understand, just you can't chase the official out on the field. There's a coaching box for a reason, Bry.
The penalty moves the ball out to the 42-yard line. He is well outside of the coaching box. He was about 10 yards onto the field.
Right.
The officials handled it well.
I think so.
Allowed him to state his case. And it's now 2nd down and 8. Newland right side. He's going to break loose again. Coming to the near side after a block from the referee inside the 20 to the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Newland. 42 yards on the run. And Bryce Newland gets into the end zone. And there's another flag down at the 26-yard line. This one could be coming back as well.
Oh, no. One of the best expressions in sports, Bry, is ball don't lie. I was about to say it for Newland. Look at what is going to get wiped out here, folks. Check out this cutback after he spins through, gets away, evades some pressure, uses the referee perfectly. Big block on the outside, too. Kid just got decleated there. And then how about this? Just muscling his way through, and it's all for naught. What a shame.
2 long runs by Newland wiped away by penalties.
Yeah, you're looking at it.
Coach Newland is still in the box.
Okay.
He's still in the box.
That's good.
He's like, you know what? Let's just get this over with and go home.
That's like 77 yards in 2 plays they just wiped out.
2nd down and 5 as the ball is resting at the 39-yard line. Newland again. Bounces to the outside, cuts back, and he's swarmed under at the 36-yard line. After all of that, he gets 4 yards.
Whew. Wow, that was a lot of work for 4 yards. I'm sure Bryce probably needs a quick breather. Coach might want to take a timeout here. Make sure that he's rested for 4th down. I don't know.
3rd down and 2 as we're under 2.5 minutes to go. Yonker turns, pitches, near side. Newland again. Cuts back. And he's brought down from behind at about the 12-yard line. Holsinger makes the tackle. And we're under 2 minutes to go. The Eagles are going to quickly get back to the line. They're going to try to make sure another penalty flag doesn't get thrown before they get another play off.
Yeah, that's a good point.
1st and 10 at the 11. And the Eagles trying to get their 2nd touchdown of the 4th quarter on the board. Newland, right side. He's tripped up after about a yard gain.
Better job that time of this young Dogs defensive pursuit. Getting after it from the linebacker position as the offensive line didn't get as much push as they have been getting previously. Just a 1-yard pickup.
We're approaching 1 minute to go. And if they're going to end their season, the Eagles want to get into the end zone again. Newland cuts back, gets into the end zone for a touchdown. Or did he? Yes, he did. With 57 seconds to go, Eastern gets into the end zone, a 10-yard touchdown run by Bryce Newland.
That boy earned that touchdown. He got in there twice, nearly got in a 3rd time, Brian. That's one touchdown that I feel like, that's earned, buddy.
He earned that. So on to attempt the extra point is number 55, Colin Wilcoxon, the 5'9" sophomore. And this roster, this young, small roster is littered with sophomores and freshmen.
So that's the good news for the Eagles to get into the postseason with a lot of youngsters on the squad. Short-staffed, of course, with not very many kids, and that one's going to sell wide.
So it's 41-13 East Knox as we're under a minute to go.
Another quick look at that touchdown run. Actually, this was the play before where Newland got submarined. Fast forward here. This should be the touchdown run right here. You know, the Eagles haven't had a ton of highlights tonight. When they've had them, we may as well showcase them again. Nice block setting up. Newland, you know he's a special talent. Makes the most of that drive right there. So the running clock is going to stop here, Brian, and East Knox. 2 timeouts still for Eastern if they elect to spend them. You know, the Dogs, I think, might be able to run it out here, but no guarantees.
I would venture a guess they're going to take a couple snaps and down this, and it's going to be like taking castor oil. It's just going to be over.
57 seconds to go.
I would not be surprised, though, if they try to at least execute an onside kick.
Why not? What do you have to lose? Try to get that football back. Give it to Nolan again.
Well, they just punch it, and it's going to be down at the 39-yard line as Blake Bonham just hugs the football, and that should do it. 54.9 seconds to go, and as you said, with the 2 touchdowns, the running clock is not an issue, but I don't know if they're going to really do anything to try to stop it.
Well, they can do something, and that's take 2 timeouts, if they so choose.
I would think they're starting the bus up, and they're going to get it warmed up, and they just want to go home.
It's been a long night for Eastern, that first half especially. And look, they got the starters out there to nail it down, Brian. They ain't taking no chances here. The Dogs aren't.
They're going to take a snap and down it.
Yeah,
and they'll take one more of those, and that will do it.
No sense in taking a timeout here.
Final snap, and that is going to do it. And East Knox with an impressive 41-13 win over Eastern, and we will be back to wrap it up. After this, you're watching high school playoff football live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Look at the confetti flying here. Dogs moving on. Big win.
Today, a new generation of the Mazza family keeps that tradition alive by offering a full lunch and dinner menu highlighted by house classics like lasagna, chicken parmesan, and the famous Mazza salad. Their new facility, located in Mount Vernon, also offers catering and banquet services. As former alumni of East Knox, Mazza's would like to wish the Bulldogs good luck in the playoffs. Visit Mazzas.com for weekly specials and info and make Mazza's your new dining destination.
Knox Community Hospital delivers with 3 fellowship-trained surgeons and coveted national rankings for 4 years running, all to help you beat the pain and heal faster. At Knox Community Hospital, we're elevating care.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today?
Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not
Podcast.
both?
Pigskin.
Podcast. Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
Hi, this is Brock Ross from the Danville office of the Kilbuck Savings Bank, and I want to wish the Danville Blue Devils all the best for a great season.
And this is Dee Scott from the Apple Valley office of the Kilbuck Savings Bank, and I'm here to wish the East Knox Bulldogs an awesome season.
We may root for different teams, but we are together in our efforts to service the financial needs of our neighbors and friends in the Knox County area.
Supporting our community is even more important today. So contact me, Dee Scott, at the Apple Valley office.
Or me, Brock Ross, at Danville.
The Kilbuck Savings Bank, your community partner, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Oh my goodness, what a catch!
Welcome to the Mazza's Restaurant postgame show. I am Brian Harder along with Brian Skoronsky. East Knox will advance, and they will take on Gloucester Trimble next week after a 41-13 victory over Eastern. And as we looked at the seeding, East Knox number 4 coming into tonight, Eastern a number 13 seed. Not a big surprise, but they're going to have their hands full next week as they take on Gloucester Trimble.
Diving into these final stats of the night, Brian, and total domination by the Dogs. Most of them put up in the first half, of course. In the third quarter went really, really fast. They had the long touchdown drive. Then they put in the JVs in the second unit, who I think actually had negative yards on the game. So when you dissect this and you're like, man, 41 points and only 267 total yards, a lot of that is because they took out the starters and things kind of mellowed out. But they were just looking to get out of here healthy, which they were able to do.
267 yards of total offense, and if you're a coach, you have to be very pleased. 1 penalty and no turnovers.
Yeah, those are the 2 big numbers that make you smile the most as a coach. The W is what you care about the most, but at the end of the day, to let you know that your guys were disciplined, following the game plan, no turnovers, no penalty yards. You didn't hurt yourselves tonight, and I think that was a big reason why the Dogs were able to get a dub.
Peyton Lester, 8 of 14, 131 yards and a couple of touchdowns, so not a surprise there. Cole Delaughder was able to run the ball effectively. They were able to do some things offensively, spreading the ball around. They got Shane Knepp involved. He had the pick 6. He had a big night.
Yeah, he did, and that's why he's going to be our MVP of the night. He's actually up here going to be joining me for a conversation in just a couple of seconds, but everybody that you expected to have a solid performance for the Dogs did that, and other guys that typically you see have big nights didn't have to because they got off to such a strong start. The defense played well, put up that goose egg in the first half, and it was just all smiles here in Howard as the confetti continued to fly throughout the evening.
We're going to take a timeout, and Brian will come back with our Knox Community Hospital Player of the Game right after this.
Hi, this is Brock Ross from the Danville office of the Kilbuck Savings Bank, and I want to wish the Danville Blue Devils all the best for a great season.
And this is Dee Scott from the Apple Valley office of the Kilbuck Savings Bank, and I'm here to wish the East Knox Bulldogs an awesome season.
We may root for different teams, but we are together in our efforts to service the financial needs of our neighbors and friends in the Knox County area.
Supporting our community is even more important today. So contact me, Dee Scott, at the Apple Valley office.
Or me, Brock Ross, at Danville.
The Kilbuck Savings Bank, your community partner, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Now joined by our Knox Community Hospital Player of the Game, Shane Knepp, showing out 3 total touchdowns in 3 different ways. Let's begin with the first one, and the pick 6. How cool was that to pick it off and then see there was a lot of green in front of you? You got some awesome blocks, and that kind of, I think, set the tone to let Eastern know, hey, you're in our house, and this is what we do.
Oh, yeah, it was great. I looked downfield, and I saw it had to be 10 people blocking for me. I knew all I had to do was just basically run at that point.
That was the case on a lot of different plays. I felt like downfield blocking, particularly by the wide receivers, was huge, and then your linemen getting downfield and blocking too. Is that something that's a point of emphasis for you guys on a week-to-week basis?
Oh, yeah. Us receivers, we do stock blocking all the time, every week, and it's a main point that we just want to get better at. It creates big plays, and it really helps us out.
Guys had a lot of big explosive plays tonight, and you mentioned to me off camera here that you felt like this was your best week of practice throughout the season so far. You feel like you're starting to peak at the right time here in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think we're starting to just put stuff together, starting to actually learn how to play together, but it's a perfect time right in playoffs.
And for you, just describe your role to me. Defensively, we know what you are. You're a ball hawk. You come up and you apply some pressure in the run game. But offensively, it seems like Coach is getting you involved in a few variety of different ways here lately.
Yeah, he wants to get everyone the ball different ways, and it really helps our offense. It's hard to guard. It's just a lot of scout team helps us out. It's pretty good.
Well, you're a senior, Shane. The atmosphere here at Howard, second to none. Tell me about just what it's like playing here at home and the fact that you get to do it one more time.
Oh, it's great. It's like no one else. It's amazing. We got, the bells, the horns, all the parents, all the fans, friends. It's a different environment, and it's a great feeling just to play here.
And you guys are going to get a host here in Week 12. You're going to play Delaughder, Trimble. You have any idea about them, what they do, what they bring to the table?
The only thing I know so far is they're a really good program. They got a good history, but other than that, we're going to start scouting them and getting ready for them.
All right, Shane Knepp, a big night tonight, 3 total touchdowns. Any shout-outs that you want to give to anybody who might be watching at home?
I want to shout out the O-line and Coach McCown.
All right, there you have it. Appreciate you for joining us, Shane, and thanks to Knox Community Hospital for sponsoring. Have a good night, man.
Thank you.
All right, we'll welcome Brian Harder back in here to wrap things up. Nothing quite like getting some sweaty headphones, Bri. Just give me some last thoughts here, Brian, before we end this thing. Well, what'd you think about what we saw from the Dogs and, kind of how far they can take this whole journey?
Well, I think East Knox was able to come in tonight, and they were able to focus on the things that they do well. And I also think they may have held some things back. They didn't have to show everything in order to get this win tonight. So they were able to keep some things in their hip pocket because as they get down the trail, they're going to have to do some different things. Maybe.
They're so balanced with their attack, and then if they can play defense like they did in this game, it's not going to be against opponents like this every single week, Bri, but at least if they can follow their game plan. It felt like people were flying to the football and they were engaged, they were smart, no penalties, of course, on the defense, so they were disciplined here tonight. I think it definitely bodes well for a deep playoff run for these Dogs.
No doubt in my mind, and Delaughder Trimble obviously is going to provide a lot more competition, and they're going to know that they're going to have their hands full playing Peyton Lester, Cole Delaughder, and the Bulldogs.
We're definitely looking forward to watching them as far as they can take it here, Bri. We'll definitely be back.
With the win, East Knox is now 9-2 overall, and they'll advance to play Delaughder Trimble next Saturday night here at East Knox. Eastern ends the season 4-5. The final score tonight, East Knox 41 and Eastern 13. Our thanks to tonight's broadcast team. Our producer and my partner was Brian Skoronsky, and the fine camera work courtesy of Hayden Gray. But most of all, our thanks to you for joining us. Once again, the final score, East Knox 41 and Eastern 13. You've been watching high school football live and free on the OH Report, powered by BS Media Productions, the future of local sports. For Brian Skoronsky, I'm Brian Harder. So long from East Knox.